Greetings adult collectors, I am Crash the Customizer. Welcome to another Custom Transformer Showcase. This is my Custom Transformers Prime Bumblebee. So the mold I have here is the Robots in Disguise Prime Bumblebee. So when we came into Prime, we had two Bumblebees. We had the first edition figure, and then we had the Robots in Disguise line. Not to be confused with Robots in Disguise 2015, it was a separate thing before Robots in Disguise 2015 existed. It was basically pretty much just Prime with just a simpler molds that were easy to get your hands on, unlike this one. This was actually one that was almost as expensive as getting the first edition figure. And I had previously had this mold, because I have the repainted mold of this that had the, I can't remember what they called it, but it was like, it basically looked like how he looked in Season 3, where he actually had more of the kind of black and the yellow instead of the yellow and black. And I also had a couple of the, like, Beast Hunters figures, because I used that for some customs. But getting just the standard look for a Bumblebee in the Robots in Disguise Prime figure was really, really difficult. Because, like I said, it costs as much as the first edition, which is like around $100 to $60, which really isn't worth a deluxe. I mean, nowadays a deluxe goes around about $30. And I don't even like paying $30. I kind of wish they were $15 like they used to be, but $30 is what they are now. So I was able to get this around $30, and I mean, that's about what you pay, so I was okay with it. I did, of course, do some painting on it. I painted in some black on his head a little bit here, this little chin section. I used some black to kind of put some details to kind of like make the yellow pop a little better, and then like some right here, put a little black right there. I put some black on that to make it more show accurate. Paint this little section right here to kind of get us more yellow, and I wasn't able to get the paint matching of the yellow quite right, but neither does Hasbro, so hey, it works, right? So I did try to paint his eyes, but it was like really hard to paint that, so I basically just kind of left it as it was. And I gave him posable hands, but unlike a lot of my usual posable hands, this uses a little different assembly. So I have this Lego clip piece attached to a Lego bar with the fingers, and then I use this piece right here, which is one of those, I'm not sure what they call this, but it kind of looks like a Lego gun piece, and I don't know what this actually is called. But I use that to clip on the thumb, because since I had this mold previously, that's what seemed to work the best with trying to get posable hands formed that can actually transform with the figure, which is usually kind of hard to do, but this is one I was able to do that with. So I'll go ahead and bring in comparisons with the others. Here he is with my Prime, Bulkhead, RC, and last, Ratchet. And here's a little group shot of them all together, and that looks awesome. Prime being one of my favorite Transformers series, having all of these figures makes me so happy. And just because, here he is with animated Bumblebee. Now as far as weapons, he does come with these little weapons here that replicate what he had in the show. Whoops. And just basically will peg into his arms. Now he has his little wrist blasters he had in the show. Now to get Bumblebee into his vehicle mode, first thing we need to do is remove his weapons. We'll start with tabbing his legs together. And then we're going to engage the automorph gimmick, which basically we pull back this and it'll bring his head forward. That'll just kind of go into place like that. And then these will tab in both sides here, just like that. Then we turn around, we have this little hood section here, and then the back of the hood that will flip out. Accordion fold up, so that go just like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take his whole waist section, bring it up, fold up the legs, and then his calves here just kind of fold into the inside of his legs. And then this little section here will tab into the back. And then with the posable hands, what we're going to do is we're going to fold his thumbs down, then fold his fingers down, and then go ahead and bring the arms back. Then once we do that, then we can take his door and shut it so that you can have that. So go ahead and bring this arm up, shut the door on this little tab, and there we have Bumblebee in his vehicle mode. And even though I have this piece on here, it does kind of look a little weird, but it does not affect the vehicle mode at all, so it still rolls just like it always did. As far as painting the vehicle mode, there really isn't much. I mean, I painted this little section up here, and then these, and then I did, of course, paint on the tail lights that Hasbro couldn't do themselves. So I also painted this little section here and that, kind of actually make it look like it's supposed to look. And even though I like this figure, like I was saying earlier about painting these, I mean, we can obviously tell Hasbro doesn't care about paint matching, because you literally have this whole section here, because it's transparent plastic, that this is not the same color. It's kind of hard to see on screen, and it doesn't really bother me. I don't really care if, like, the paint doesn't match, but this is one figure that, like, I really, really notice it on, compared to some. But, you know, it is what it is, and fixing that would not really be easy, because it's kind of hard to find the right paint that matches the coloration. But like I said, it doesn't bother me. It's still just kind of like, I wish they could do something about it, but it's like, you know, it's not the end of the world. But honestly, I really do like his vehicle mode, honestly. I mean, I like how they're able to take the movie version and make more of like a animated version, and I just kind of like that, honestly. So we'll go ahead and bring in some comparisons. But one more thing I want to do before that is, for some reason, one of the things you can do is take his weapons and put them up here, which doesn't look right or make any sense, because they never did this in the show. But hey, you can do it if you want to, for whatever reason. But yeah. So now I'll bring in some comparisons. First up, here he is with his animated counterpart. And here we have Bumblebee with the rest of his team. And like I was saying earlier, this makes me so happy to see these together. Now to get Bumblebee back into his robot mode, first thing we need to do, we need to go ahead and open up his doors. And unfortunately, you can't really stick it in there. Not even a Lego minifigure can actually fit in there, but oh well. So anyway, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and untab the roof section here from his legs. And then bring his legs down, and this will fold him up like this. Then we're going to go ahead and bring down his arms. And then we're going to take this section, and we're going to flip it in just like that. And then fold it back. I'm going to fold his waist up a little bit. And we're going to take this and fold it to the back. And it does kind of halfway tab in here, not real well, but it kind of does. So now we have those things out of the way. We'll be able to activate the automorph gimmick. I need to untab his arms. And just bring them back. And if everything's done right, it should just flip his head back. Go ahead and split his legs. Position them how they should be. Then bring down his fingers, bring down the thumb. Same on this side. Kind of angle his door wings back a bit. And then just kind of get him positioned where he's standing in a decent pose here. Now I have Bumblebee back into his robot mode. And like I was saying earlier, I am really happy to finally have this. And I mean, I really had to do a lot on this figure, really. I mean, just a few kind of paint details, just like adding in things that didn't have, and adding posable fingers, and that was really about it. And like I said, Prime is pretty much my favorite series, and honestly, this would probably be my favorite design for Bumblebee. Because, like, I didn't really like the Bayverse version. This kind of takes the elements of that and just makes just a better look. Honestly, this is probably the best version of Bumblebee that I've ever seen that we've gotten, as far as, like, kind of a design that kind of fits. I really wish they could have kept this for the Robots in the Skies series, but it's really pretty much it for this video. So if you like this, be sure to check out the description where you'll find a link to all of my other Transformers Prime customs. There will also be a link that will take you to all of my Transformers animated customs. Along with a link that will take you to my stop motion channel, where I'm just currently doing some random stop motions, but am working on a stop motion series to have at some point. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future customs. Until next time, this is Crash the Customizer out. Autobots, let's roll out. Oh, Bumblebee, I know you wanted to go on this mission, but watch your language. That bot really needs to grow up, especially if he wants to be promoted to warrior or even leader someday.